Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to pay tribute today to Trevor Grant McAllister, who sadly passed away just last week, aged 83, and pass on my deepest sympathies to his wife Pauline and the entire family. Trevor was fondly known as T-Mac. He was the fourth of 5 children and third son of Donald and Amy McAllister of Brassey, Deniliquin. Trevor had his early education at the Little Hopwood School near their property in Denny, where along with his siblings he rode his horse to school. At the age of just 9, he joined his 2 older brothers, Barry and Murray, at Caulfield Grammar School in Melbourne. And while he wasn't so keen on the academics, he certainly loved sport and he excelled, particularly in athletics and tennis. He was both junior and senior athletics champion before he left Caulfield. And when Trevor left school and returned to the family property, he, along with his brothers, became some of the first rice growers in the district and grew their first rice crop in 1957. Back then, Saturday was town day. The banks were open, as was the post office, so mornings were taken up with business and shopping, and Saturday afternoon was all about tennis, always tennis, from early October through until about Easter. The Denny Lawn Tennis Club was the place to be, and T-Mac was one of the club's A-grade players. By some twist of fate, he was drawn to play mixed doubles with a young lady by the name of Pauline one very hot Saturday afternoon. 3 years or so later in Melbourne, on July 13 of 1963, that mixed doubles pairing from Denny became T-Mac and P-Mac. Pauline tells the story that prior to their wedding, she actually asked Trevor if there was anything he didn't like as far as food, and he replied, rhubarb and custard. Her reply was that you had it almost every Saturday when you came to our place for lunch before tennis. As his response was, yes, I did, and I hated it. Now that is true love. The couple welcomed their first child, Anne, in 1964, followed by Shauna, Fleur and Donald. And for many years, Trevor was a member of the Deniliquin Show Society, having joined when he left school at just 17. He became one of the youngest presidents of the Denny Show Society and was also made an honorary life member of that society. In 1987, the McAllisters got out of irrigation altogether and moved north to get more involved in grazing. But by chance, they purchased Ador's Party Hire in Dubbo, which Pauline says was a wonderful business for an ex-farmer to own. T-Mac was good at all sorts of maintenance and driving trucks and putting up marquees, and he really was in his element. He spent a lot of time chatting with farmers and organising their field days, along with their children's 21st birthdays and then their weddings. They ran that successful business for about 20 years before retiring in 2008. Trevor's reputation in the show fraternity preceded him, and he was only in Dubbo for a short time when he was invited onto the Show Society Committee in Dubbo as well. At the end of the following year, he was a vice president, and from 1995 to 2000, he was the very proud president of the Dubbo Show Society. He was surprised and honoured to also be awarded honorary life membership of the Dubbo Society in 2012 and was appointed a patron of the Society in 2016. He attended his last meeting of the Show Society earlier this year before the COVID restrictions were put in place. Trevor and Pauline's other major interest has been politics, and this is where I came to know them after nominating for pre-selection in the seat of Dubbo in 2018. T-Mac was a member of the National Party for some 48 years, and he worked extremely hard on 19 state and federal elections after arriving in Dubbo. For the Nats, Trevor was one of our staunchest supporters, and he's someone I certainly developed a deep respect for. In later times, Trevor quite enjoyed watching Question Time after returning home from dialysis at Dubbo Base Hospital, and he was particularly excited when work actually began on the new dialysis unit in Dubbo, and he was, of course, much loved by all of those who saw him there regularly. As much as he loved things like the show scene, politics and travelling as well, what he was proudest of was P-Mac, their 4 children and 13 grandchildren, and what they've been achieving and done with their lives. T-Mac was diagnosed with his terminal illness in 2015. He fought his chronic ill health with amazing dignity and amazing courage. Last Saturday, July 18, just 5 days after he and his beloved P-Mac celebrated their 57th wedding anniversary, Trevor died at home. He leaves behind a large, loving family and a myriad of friends who all gathered in Dubbo, both in person and online yesterday, to say their farewells. Thanks for everything, T-Mac. Mate, you will be missed.